I don't think most women can actually genuinely understand how lonely the majority of men are.
Yeah.
And you need to truly understand, if you're Joe Schmo, average in nearly every way, in Starbucks working, you ain't getting a DM ever. You girls will never be lonely. As much as you might be unhappy with the possible suitors, you can at least fuck about and flirt if you feel sad. There are men out here in the world who have genuine loneliness. And I can prove this statistically. Why do you think it's all the men killing themselves compared to the women?
There are no justifications, is what I'm saying. Even though it is impossible to measure, there is something that happens if you are living behind. However, I take the example of the money because it was obvious where I was from the start. Consider a scenario in which you are 30 years old and not making 45. Say you're 30 years old and earning $30,000 per year. This calls for you to begin approaching life with a sense of urgency and live as though you were losing. Because of your jogging, you are unable to walk or even speak clearly. You must get moving and comprehend something. The first requirement is that you must put in more than 60 hours every week. If you are behind, you can't just work 60 hours a week. Nearer the age of 80, you ought to be employed. You are correct, dude. To boost your money, because without it, you cannot live a successful adult male life. You must forego some goddamn sleep and work 2 full-time jobs. You can associate with some poor quality ladies, reside in a ratchet one, or be in a 2, 3, or 4. Your life will be ratcheting up in speed. You won't be able to make the required adjustments to catch up. Good men. We talk about improving oneself after all. Right now, the real action starts. Put yourself in jail for at least a year to get your mind what the fuck. You out here at the bar having a beard, looking to the football game. Dude, he broke. You only in these rooms and stuff. And you're living a lie. That's why a lot of guys are. So what you do is you kick life in the overdrive and take the money, the additional money you make, and you need to double down on self-improvement. That means if you've been able to get by on your one job, the next job you need to go get a psyche valve. Find out what's holding you back. Get a life coach if you are out of shape, overweight, other things. Get a personal trainer. Take your second job and use it to start improving because when you start looking and liking who, you'll do better. Any CIA agent who has a goal and is aware of your pockets is on the run. You know you don't have $20 in your pocket when we say, yeah, buddy, we're going to head over to, we're going to go over to the spot, and then we're going to go have a couple of drinks. Okay, this round is on me, we tell you. A round also cannot be purchased. Therefore, if you've had to spend your life using the restroom while others are buying drinks, or even worse, you're not around those types of individuals. Always me by my possessions. Because you don't go anywhere and do nothing because you don't want anyone to know about your life. You purchase your goods, man, and you're dying inside every day. That is actual speech. You are unhappy. I'll thus just go to work and go home. But you see, all you're doing is criticizing yourself. You are a prisoner of life. The thrill of going to bed fatigued makes it preferable to go to work. So you know what? I'm going to go out and work. But you're getting paid. You must work extra hard. Intensifying self-improvement efforts. No justifications, no ladies. 0. The highest levels of accountability come next. You must also admit it. You must tell your pals what you did. I'm a screwed up dude. Even though I'm 35 years old, I still act my age. My closet is like that of a teenager. My income is that of a young person. I date as though I were dating a young man. Actually, what if I lost my current job? I have no abilities, therefore there is no way I could go out and obtain another job paying this much. I've been acting and acting like a teenager. I know, guys. Men haven't worn a suit since high school and don't work. Own one not. What is in your wardrobe? Nothing. How do you get to life? I ask. Furthermore, it is not merely a matter of Some guys genuinely have the income to support all of these items, but they don't live extravagant lives. I think it's one thing to not have the money, but if you do have the money and still seem like a guy in your clothes and overall appearance, you are still a boy. You can feel superior to the first guy because you have more money than him. What are you doing in your though? Houston, we have a problem if you lead a life in which you are not exposed to anything that you wouldn't have been exposed to as a teenage boy. You must be very clear about the differences between the lives that, instance, a man in his 30s, a man in his 21st year, and a man in his 30s should be leading. The 21-year-old male must be present. When you're 20, between the ages of 18 and 21, you should be going to intense college parties, drinking, chasing skirts, and working out a lot, but by the time you're 30, you should be way over that. Even while you still go out, you no longer frequent the coin beer clubs. You won't be attending any 18-plus clubs. If you're still going, at least you're going to the clubs for those over 25. But at 30, you ought to have outgrown your nightclub days. You should frequent lounges and such places rather than clubs, because otherwise you'll be the old fucking man there. And at 35, this stuff really should at 40 be out of your A system. The only time you actually end up getting to a club like the one I just mentioned is if you chance to travel home for the holidays and you beat some pals out. Otherwise, you're a loser and 40-year-olds in the 21 and up club. The highest levels of accountability will need you to confess to certain people in your immediate vicinity. Because I'm recording my life, you'll need to hire mentors, life coaches, and other professionals. I genuinely wanted to know if you were capable of handling adult responsibilities. I wanted to see if you were actually capable of managing your own life. Do you ask yourself, unless you were, can someone tell me if you are truly capable of being considered a man? Let me reiterate that. Let's imagine you're a 40-year-old man who has never bought a suit or but it's okay because you have a job and are able to pay your bills. When you were 8 years old, did you think you'd be this? No, but that was a look. We called those guys losers, and those guys knew they were losing. See, we got too many guys today who are losing and blaming on everything else. Life is not meant to be survived. It's meant to thrive. Said, I'm definitely not living life like I should be or understanding something. If you're not living life as you should be, then there's only one thing to do. You have to go into overdrive on self-improvement, and you're not qualified to do it yourself. Again, I don't mean to be rude.